Mimaki Australia wishes everyone a safe recovery from the current floods in Sydney and Queensland. And if Mimaki Australia can support in any possible way in our showrooms nationally, please call your local dealer or Mimaki directly. I just wanted to reach out to everybody first and foremost. My name's Jason Haye. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a dedicated and proactive sales leader with more than 25 years of experience in the sign and display market in Australia. My motto is, if you stand still, nothing changes. I specialise in selling commercial wide format printing equipment and have garnished extensive international experience in this market around the world. I have always had a strong entrepreneurial drive, and along with substantial experiences across the Australian market, have combined this with a strong ability to develop client relationships while adhering to a high level of business performance. While working with customers, I have a wide range of diverse knowledge and skills across all segments of the printing industry. I enjoy spending time with my family. Throughout my career in sales leadership, I've always been able to grow into a mature and successful leader. This has seen me engage in partners from all around the world and learn valuable lessons such as the importance of time management, listening and guidance. In keeping with my values, I've never been focused on the sale of the product. Instead, I have committed to the customer and have always been focused on selling the solution. Although I have been able to achieve a high level of success in sales, I've always approached each customer, regardless of how big or small, with the same customer first attitude. In this sense, my proven record is irrelevant to me, as I've always approached customers with the mindset that I'm always passionate about the leadership and guiding my peers to achieve their professional goals. Saying that, I have won numerous sales awards, national sales awards over my 25 years. I've taken startup businesses to be, I suppose, locally recognised to national recognition. Sorry, guys. I have been with Mimaki since 2017. My guidance and leadership in growing the Mimaki portfolio has allowed the Mimaki brand to grow from, in my tenure here, from 12% to 32% in the last 4 years. Mimaki has now become an equal leader in this market space. During this time, I've been able to grow the dealer network and elevate the brand to a national status. This has resulted in Mimaki becoming a go-to product for customers in the wide format market. I'm really excited for this particular time ahead in the next venture. Thanks, Thomas-san. And
Jason-san, thank you very much. I appreciate your introductions. Now I would like to move to Mr. Brad Crichton, our National Marketing Manager, please.
All right, yeah, look, my name's Brad Crichton. I'm National Marketing Manager, as Thomas mentioned there. Look, I'd just like to firstly thank everyone for logging in and joining us today. It's been a pretty tough couple of weeks here in Australia with the floods and what Jace mentioned there. So everyone's time's important, so we really appreciate you logging in. Look, I just want to go through, I've had a 2-decade history with Mimaki. I just want to run through a little bit I did before that. So I spent 10 years working in the sign display market, worked on all facets of signage from quoting, designing, applying and installing. It was during that time I introduced to Mimaki equipment. We ran multiple CG plotters and purchased one of the first JV2 series pigment-based printers that was converted to solvent inks in the late 90s. The next 10 years, from 2003, I jumped on the other side of the fence to work in the supply chain for the signage and commercial print markets, which happened to be exclusive Australian distributor for Mimaki. Progressed to National Sales and Marketing Manager, worked closely with Mimaki Japan to grow and support product at local level. During this time, my role was quite diverse, from selling, installing, even supporting if need be. Moved across to Mimaki Australia in 2013 when Mimaki Engineering decided to set up a local subsidiary. We started only with 4 employees, took up the position of National Sales and Marketing Manager. At that time, Mimaki product sales had virtually stopped nationally. Such was the transition between existing distribution channels and Mimaki setting up locally. The focus was to re-engage the Mimaki brand to the market and set up more proactive dealer network for Mimaki. With strong partnerships and excellent team built up over the years, Mimaki has improved its market share significantly under the subsidiary. Now, under the role of National Marketing Manager, I'm focused on continuing to improve the recognition of Mimaki brand in our local market. Thanks a lot, Thomas-san.
Thanks very much, Brad-san. Now I'd like to move to the Mr. Cameron Bongas, who is Victorian, which is our second biggest state market, the sales channel manager. Cam-san, please. You are mute. Mr. Cameron, you are on mute, so could you activate your microphone?
Sorry about that.
That's good. And could you start 5 seconds ago?
Thank you very much, Tomo, and welcome thank you everyone for joining today. So a little bit of background on myself. So I started in the signwriting industry back in 1993 and spent around about a decade working for various sign shops in Victoria in the southeastern region from there. So working with traditional sign writers, screen printing, and today's current sign writers in the digital markets. So during this period is towards the end of that is when the digital market really started to become big and the large format printers came out. So I developed a really big interest in that side of things, and I was very lucky with an opportunity to move over to work for one of the big suppliers down here in Victoria. So I worked there for quite a number of years, 10 years for that particular one, looking after the hardware sales and software sales, installation, training from there. So through that next sort of nearly 2 decades, I worked with a lot of the big resellers here in Victoria, looking after hardware, software sales, doing the installation training for a lot of leading brands, including some of the large manufacturing finishing products that you see today in the market. Thankfully, in 2020, I had the opportunity to join the Mimaki team here at Australia. So I've been here for now for just on 2 years, and look, really loving the company, the innovation, and their eagerness to support the industries, across Australia and on a global basis. So, yeah, that's just me in a quick nutshell, I guess.
Thanks, Cam-san. I appreciate that. I hope you are all well in Victoria. Now, I'd like to move to the last person, Mr. Patrick Bianco, who is newly joined Mimaki 8 months ago as a product application specialist. All right, Patrick, please.
Thank you very much, Tomo. Hi, everyone. As Tomo said, it's not quite 8 months yet. I'm coming up on 6, but it's great being one of the newest members of Mimaki Australia. Over the last 10 years, I've been a graphic designer, heavily involved in a production workflow. I've ran my own business, so I understand the needs of our end users quite well. It's great with me having sort of this design background, because it enables me as the production application specialist to really showcase file preparation and help our customers. I've been involved in a lot of training and demonstration. I'm helping work on our new sample kits, which we've got the launch of the JFX 600. We've got that coming out soon with the kit, which is going to be great from a sales point of view and marketing. I collaborate with our media suppliers, with our open days. And one of the best perks of my position here at Mimaki is I get to sort of use our latest technology as one of the first in Australia. It's fantastic. Since I've joined Mimaki, it's very quickly they've become my second family, away from my family at home, which is great. Everyone here is very welcoming. And with my journey so far, I've really been able to sort of utilize my skills to assist our team, our dealers, and the end users. It's really good. I get a real kick out of helping everyone. And the customer, for me, the customer satisfaction and me helping to teach someone something new is a highlight of my job. All right, back to you, Thomas-san.
All right, thanks, Patrick, your presentation. And now I'd like to move to the main topic of today. Basically, back to basics, knowing about Mimaki globally and in Australia. So Mr. Brad has prepared explanation presentations to go over for next 10 minutes. So I'd like to move to Brad-san again for your presentation, please.
No worries. Thanks very much, Thomas-san. So look, as the slide shows there, we'll just run through 3 categories. The history of Mimaki engineering, run through a brief history of Mimaki Australia, and we'll go over some of the innovation of Mimaki over the years. All right, so Mimaki Engineering was founded in 1975 in Tomasiti, Nagano, Japan. We started manufacturing drafting plotters, which led us to our current portfolios. They include more than 50 products that provide a total workflow solution for sign graphics, industrial products, textile and apparel, and more newly 3D markets. A quick timeline overview of our history. In 1985, our first product went to market, an A2 flatbed pen plotter, aligning to drafting market. For the next 10 years, Mimaki developed and sold another 25 plus products, which started to heavily impact the signage industry. 1995 was our first expansion outside of Japan, Mimaki Taiwan. 1999, Mimaki USA was founded. 2004, Mimaki Europe launched. And 2007, Mimaki was listed to the JASDAQ Securities Exchange. 2009, Mimaki Shanghai in China was founded, followed closely by Mimaki Brazil that same year. 2011, Mimaki Indonesia was opened, and then 2013 was a big year for Mimaki with 3 subsidiaries founded: Mimaki Singapore, Mimaki India, and yours truly, Mimaki Australia. 2015, relocated our stock to the Tokyo Stock Exchange, first edition. 2017, Mimaki Lithuania and Mimaki Bonpan in Italy were founded. In 2018, Mimaki Thailand was officially launched. So the last 10 years, we've seen significant international growth for Mimaki Engineering, which outlines today approximately 75% of total sales are coming from outside of Japan. All right, so let's go over what we make and how we get it to market. We've long been known as an innovative company that provides integrated services through development, production, marketing, and maintenance of products, such as industrial inkjet printers, cutting plotters, and inks. Beside printers, we provide original ink and software that deliver added value to customers. To make this happen, we have various facilities, starting with Mimaki headquarters in Tomasiti, Nagano, Japan. And as you can see there, in this facility, we have over 600 employees. We also have various manufacturing locations, okay, with over 280 employees spread throughout the world, including China, as you can view on this slide. All right, to drive this manufacturing, we need sales hubs. Okay, we currently have 13 subsidiaries located around the world with over 1,600 employees. All right, which means our customer-focused services approximately 150 countries and regions across the world. So quite significant infrastructure. All right, we're proud at Mimaki to showcase our diverse range of products throughout the world, whether that is large trade show exhibitions or even smaller dealer open days. We do a lot of investment of showing our innovation. Okay, and we've done that heavily for the last 10 years. A quick reminder for our local customers here, Pack Print is happening at the end of June in Melbourne. So we're pretty excited after 2 years, or longer than 2 years, that we'll be back at a major trade show exhibition. 28th of June, I believe it starts. Okay, a brief history of Mimaki Australia. Mimaki Australia launched in April 2013 and officially opened in November that year, is the opening ceremony. Since launching, our constant investment in the Australian market has been significant. Highlighted here with obviously showing our facilities. So we now have 3 facilities, all over 250 square metres of showroom demonstration areas. We have increased our authorised resale channel to improve our national supply of products, which has seen significant growth of the brand. So obviously we'd like to thank all our partners nationally. All right, a final point, I'd like to go over some of the innovation over the years of Mimaki. Leading wide format innovation for more than 40 years now. We've received plenty of awards over the years regarding aligning to Mimaki innovation and products. Now I just want to highlight our product portfolio since inception up until 2013 to give you an idea of the constant innovation Mimaki has provided since 1985. So this timeline is from 1985 to 2013 with over 130 products that have been developed. All right, so what have we done since 2013? Well, the innovation hasn't stopped, it's escalated significantly. With more investment in research and development, market-leading products kept coming to our markets of choice, starting with sign graphics. So you can see here we've constantly developed eco-solvent solutions, latex solutions, solvent UV, and obviously LED UV curing. That continues with our print and cut range. We haven't slowed down regarding our roll-fed vinyl plotters and cutting systems, and we've also added a laminator to our overall solutions. Moving on to our industrial products, we've significantly had big investment regarding LED UV curing in large format flatbeds and smaller format flatbed equipment. Our IP range continues with flatbed cutting devices. And our TA market is seeing more local growth year on year with extensive range since 2013. If you're interested in our textile solutions, please tune into tomorrow's seminar. We have Aman, our textile BDM, to get the latest product information and better knowledge about this growing market. I believe that is on at 10 a.m. Tell me if I'm wrong there, Tomo. I think it's on at 10 a.m. tomorrow. A relatively new market for Mimaki is our 3D solutions. So we're now producing full color 3D modeling. Now the samples you're seeing on the screen here were produced on the 3D UJ553. We're really setting new standards regarding this solution when it comes to 3D full color printing. All right, 2021, 2022, we haven't stopped. We've got a range of new products across all 4 of our markets. SG Sign Graphics with the 330 and AR series, 330 series being eco-solvent printer cutter, AR series, brand new range of plotters, IP industrial products with the all-new JFX 600, which is obviously a production flatbed, and our updated versions of Mark IIe and UJF 7151 setting new standards. We've also got the new TA solution there with the TS330 for high-speed sublimation. And of course, a new smaller format entering the full-color 3D world, 3D UJ 2207. So look, I hope that gives you a good understanding of some of the history and some of the innovation regarding Mimaki engineering. It's been a pretty impressive 37 years of development. So let's move on to Jason to go over some of the growth in our market. All right, thanks Tomo, thanks Jace.
Thanks for that, Brad. Really appreciated that. And I think the people watching today obviously would look at Mimaki as a true innovator of obviously the sign and display market, not only in Australia, but obviously around the world, and continual investment. I think the one thing that stands out for me, more importantly, is that when we do actually communicate back with Japan, is that our Vision V10 and one of our clear goals over the next 3 years is that 75% of our current product portfolio will be upgraded in some way. So within our R&D developments back in Japan, we're always going to come out with the latest technology to make sure that Mimaki stays an equal leader in the global market around the world. What I wanted to do now is just obviously give you, I suppose, an understanding of the growth of the business in Australia. In 2013, thanks to our previous single dealer that was representing the market, at that particular time we had 1.8% market share. In that time, Mimaki Australia decided to open up Mimaki Australia as a solely owned subsidiary of Mimaki Japan. Over that particular time frame between 2013 and 2021, Mimaki Australia's market share has gone from 1.8% to 32.8%. That enables us today to be equal first, if not number one, wide format supplier in the sign and display market. And it's a truly innovative brand in regards to making sure, not only with good products, but with a great team behind us, that we are going to continue to grow this and hopefully have a very successful 2022. What I want to show you now is, without obviously giving revenue growth, which can be found on our websites, what I wanted to do is just show you the growth on year, which has shown that Mimaki has clearly had a year-on-year growth, which is probably one of the only sign and display manufacturers, again, in Australia that's actually had this particular growth year-on-year. Unfortunately, just in 2021, we were slightly under, but we were hit by a pandemic, unfortunately, called COVID, which did change the way the market was obviously going at that particular time. But I felt that if COVID certainly hadn't obstructed our world, our current world, we would have had another substantial growth. But looking at 2022, we're looking at having a 6% growth on what we did in 2021. So yeah, Mimaki is always going to be, I suppose, our plan is to obviously continually grow through our dealer network and make sure that we do bring out new products. What I wanted to show you here is that, and I'll just show you that particular growth in Australia, the unit number of sign and display machines. Now, in 2013, we sold 60 units of the 1.6 meter wide space or less. As you can see there, between 2013 and 2021, we now make up 252 units of just a single product range, the SG product range, not including our textile, 3D, IP product range. What this has clearly shown to me is that out of every working day, someone in Australia buys a Mimaki product. I'm really proud of that. Where we've also gone and I suppose been successful is the number of showrooms. And those people who have obviously visited South Wales do walk into our showrooms and call them an inspirational centre. So in 2013, we had our first showroom. Then we moved into 2016, we opened up Victoria. And in 2018, we started to grow and represent the Queensland market. So today we have 3 inspirational centres in the Australian market. One thing I do like about Mimaki, as a business, and I enjoy working here over the last 4 years and been engaged with the brand for the last 8 or 9 years now, is the growth, and they're not afraid to invest in the market. We can't have this substantial growth in the Australian market if it wasn't for Mimaki Japan to invest in the brand in Australia. Not only do we have certain amount of people, which I'll go through in a minute, but the clearest factor for Mimaki to be successful, we had to invest in engineers. The support structure behind any growth of any brand is important to the service division of any business. One thing I do like to say today in the Australian market is that in 2013, we started this business with 2 engineers. Today, due to the growth over the last 8 or 9 years, we now have 14 certified engineers that are solely employed by Mimaki Australia. This is not counting the actual dealer network that actually has their dedicated support staff that look after the Mimaki brand as well. I'm really proud of that. What I want to show you here is just a couple of showrooms that we do have around in Australia. And one thing I do like about, and I've said it a couple of times, when people walk into this showroom in Australia, there's 300 plus, I think it's close to 400 square meters of wide format space. In New South Wales alone, we've got 3 flatbeds, we've got 15 roll-to-roll printers, we've got 1 3.2 meter wide printer, we have IP, 3D and cutting solutions. When people walk into this showroom, they go, wow. And when I say wow, and the reasons of why wow, is that today 75% of Mimaki's business and the growth of Mimaki brand in Australia is created by new business and new customers. So that clearly shows to us that when someone comes into our showroom, they're inspired in regards to what Mimaki can do for their business, their own internal brand, and obviously the growth of both businesses being a continual partnership moving forward. And I think that's one thing that they do like about it. So thanks to the New South Wales team for what they do to make sure that we are number one. Here we've got the Victorian showroom. They've got 250 square meters of space. It is our global Australian market TA hub. So all our textile hubs actually in the actual Victorian office, and with our presentation tomorrow by Iman, he'll be able to show you the facilities. But what I wanted to show you here is that Mimaki is committed, not only just in New South Wales, but in Victoria, to making sure that anything that we can actually do for our customers, whether it's demos, prototyping, or anything that's innovative, that's what these showrooms are for. With the staff that we've got around Australia, and in particular Cameron and Iman, they can certainly help you out with demonstrations on the latest technology, or solution or prototyping, or whatever you want to do. Queensland.
Jason-san,
Yes.
Sorry for interrupt for
Okay.
a couple of seconds. If you go back to a slide for a Victorian showroom,
Yep.
I was just wondering, well, I was the one besides that, but I probably forget the reason. What is the reason why we've got textile showroom and textile exclusive representative, which is Mr. Iman Monem, in Victoria, which is the second biggest state in Australia, not New South Wales?
Yeah, thanks, Thomas-san. Good question. The reason, obviously, we've got Iman and we've moved our textile from New South Wales down to Victoria is that we felt that within the Australian market, the textile industry, and I suppose the core customers or the clients that we're trying to represent or grow the business are in Victoria. And I think that will grow more and more now that obviously with COVID and things like that. But to answer your question quite easily, we do find that textile major hub in the printing industry is in Australia. Unfortunately, what we have found over the last couple of months and 6 months in Australia is that with the local government grants and everything else that's available for new technologies representing back into Australia, then we're now starting to get people coming into New South Wales and Queensland, but we can't be everywhere. It is our textile hub. Our textile channel manager moved to Victoria for this particular reason.
Okay, thanks for that answer, Jason-san. Please keep going.
No worries. Thank you, Tomo. I think the most important part and the most exciting part for me is the way Mimaki Queensland has eventuated. I mean, in 2018, we started in a 4x8 shed, just about. We had 3 printers and a channel manager and 1 service engineer. Mimaki Queensland's growth and an investment into the market in Queensland, more importantly, has shown us that our business has actually grown nearly 400% in the last 2 years in this respective state. This is the third time that Queensland's had to move in 3 years because of the growth of the Mimaki as a brand. They are a true leader in Queensland in regards to making sure that customers in Queensland, they are a family-orientated approach. They love the touch and feel. And I think the investment that we've created, not only just in continual of the channel managers, we now have 3 service engineers. It will always invest in the brand, but Queensland's done a sensational job. And our new showroom, which we've only just moved into in November, and unfortunately due to COVID and now floods, we can't go there to open it up. But I know that Pat and Chris are certainly open to phone calls and things like that. That if you are needed and you are in trouble in regards to printing work and things like that, due to the current circumstances, feel free to give Pat and Chris a call, or any of our local dealer networks in Queensland. We're certainly there to support you with this facility. It is up and running, and it is available if required. But it is a nice investment. And in the last, we've got in Australia wide, we now have nearly 800 or 900 square meters of showroom space. One thing I will say is that we are the only manufacturer of the sign and display market that is committed and invested in the Mimaki brand in the sign and display market in Australia. It is clearly an indication the reasons why we've gone from 1.8% to 32.8% in the last in the last 8.5, 9 years. And my last slide, what I wanted to do is just go and show you what we've actually physically got. From 2013, we had 2 engineers, 1 channel rep and 1 national sales manager. From there, in 2022, we start this year with 14 engineers, and I know we're doing interviews currently at the moment in a couple of states for further engineers. So we are actually committed in growing our presence in the brand. But currently today, I have 14 engineers. I have 5 channel reps. I have a national sales manager. I have a national marketing manager. I have an application specialist now, 4 admin, and a GM. I'm really excited. This is a product and a business that's really engaged in making sure that the customer's always first. What I wanted to show you in this particular presentation on this slide here is that in Western Australia, we only manage the business by service by dealers. Unfortunately, Mimaki, even though we would like to be in every state in Australia, solely owned and looking after our dealers locally, but I do respect what we do in Western Australia. We are fully committed to servicing WA by service by dealer. And I think today the border's finally open that we can actually go over after 2 years and support them in a better way. Northern Territory and South Australia both serviced by dealer and serviced by Mimaki, and we treat them as a local subsidiary. Queensland, we have 3 service engineers. New South Wales, we have 8 service engineers. The reason why we have 8 service engineers is that we do have a larger showroom. We do have a showroom, unfortunately, which enables us to actually have multiple different types of ink sets and things like that. So we do have more engineers around in New South Wales to certainly support other states around Australia. And in Victoria, we've got 3 engineers, and obviously Tasmania, we've got service by dealer and service by Mimaki. So I hope this presentation's given you an understanding of the growth of the Mimaki brand in Australia, and I look forward to the next the growth plan with the new products that we've got coming out. I will put you over now to Cameron. And give you the reasons why Mimaki is the #1 choice.
Beautiful. Thanks very much for that, Jace. I guess to start with, I think the slides that yourself and Brad have gone over there really do show why we are the #1 choice, particularly here in Australia. So look, for my point of view, and coming from the reseller channel and working with some of the other leading brands in the industry, I think it's the investments, the innovation, and the commitment that Mimaki have to the markets that we work within. The innovation side of things, we're the first, as you can see, in 2002 with solvent. So, over 20 years of R&D into the solvent side of the industry, nearly 20 years the same, the first again having UV curable ink from there. And then, in 2012. Again, another innovative product from Mimaki, white latex ink, and then the solvent UV ink side of things. So those sort of things there, to me, were such a great thing for me to join the Mimaki team 2 years ago and be a part of this innovation and the investment on a global basis, and especially here what we do in Australia, this commitment to our industry. So I'll just flick over to the next slide. There we go from there. So a couple of the other really big points, and again, from my point of view, coming from that reseller channel and working with other brands, things that Mimaki do that really show that investment and that commitment to our industry are just being able to give customers the choice how they handle their warranties. We're not forcing a particular warranty on a person and then saying, okay, every so often you have to give us this amount of money to maintain that warranty. So we have that flexibility. So the customer can just buy the machine as it is, their initial investment, just get the machine. It'll come with a standard 12-month warranty from there, but they have that opportunity to extend that warranty before that 12-month runs out there. So what they can do at the end of the 12 months, invest in a total care support package, which will give them a full-blown service in the machine, and then extend their warranty across the machine, print heads included, for the next year. And they can add this on again for a total of up to 3-year total support package. One of the other good options that we have is we allow customers to buy certain models of our machine with our full 5-year support package. Now, again, I don't know of anyone else in the industry doing this, but this particular package will cover all your PM services for the next 5 years. So what that means is it helps our customers, the end users, with their cash flow side of things. It's just one easy repayment every month, and they know that at a certain point, a technician will turn up, do the service on the machine, do what they need to do, sign the piece of paper, and away they go. They're not having to sort of find that money or come up with those funds there. It just all happens automatically from there. And as mentioned, that all of these warranties cover all our print heads through there. Another great little thing, on our cutting range, the CG series, all the roll-to-roll cutters, they all come stock standard with a 2-year warranty. Again, this is something different that I don't believe too many other manufacturers are actually doing this out there in our industry. So it's great to see those investment and Mimaki put these kind of warranties. It shows you how confident we are in our brand, and we truly believe in the products that we build. So, Jace, you've mentioned in your slides there as well that we have, inspirational centres across 3 main states. Again, it's I don't know really of any manufacturers. I know for us here, particularly in Victoria, we're the only one only manufacturer with a full showroom here, which gives our customers, the resellers, all the ability to come in, get hands-on one-on-one training sessions or group training sessions. It allows the resellers to do mini trade shows or open days where they can invite in their customers and everyone can have a good hands-on experience with the machine. One of the other things I love about it is the ability to help end users on R&D projects. So they've got something new and upcoming and they just want to try out particularly a new media or look for a newer ink technology that may better suit their applications. They can come down, spend a fair bit of time here with us, and we can run through all of that with them and assist them in getting those sort of things, the R&D, out of the way for them. So one of the, we've all mentioned it through this, and I love that we all talk about it because it's such a big part of our business, is our high level of commitment to our industry, and the belief that we have in that side of things. So I've got there 10 plus, but as Jason, you've mentioned, we're 14 technicians across Australia, and then we obviously have the technicians within the reseller channel, those type of things. So that shows you really good commitment and support for our after sales service. So once our customers have got the machine, they know that they're going to get looked after and get the service that they need from that point on. Again, who else invest this kind of investments into the facilities that we do, our online training courses, seminars like this. So, that commitment from Mimaki Australia in this side of things, again, just is such a great thing for me and something that I've loved about Mimaki since I've joined. 2 years ago. So the other great thing with all our employees, especially the guys that we've got here today, Brad, Jace, Pat, and Tomo, we've all got some form of industry experience. Brad's been in the industry for, a couple of decades there. Pat's come from an extensive background. I have as well, and so have you, Jace. We've all had extensive knowledge within the Mimaki channel, but we also, had a lot of experience with other finishing products and other equipment out there. So it's great to see, that Mimaki do invest into the right employees for the company. As Brad mentioned earlier, we love to invest into our trade shows and bring our new products and our innovative ideas to the industry. So it's going to be great to finally be back at a trade show this year after 2 or 3 years. So I hope to see a lot of you there for that one there. So, and obviously, we do a big investment just in our tips and tricks. Jump onto our YouTube channel at any stage, and there is quite an extensive amount of videos on there that will help you with, whether it be 5-layer printing, print and cut through our ID functions, all those type of things. So again, it's great to work for a company that really invests back into the industry that we work within. So that's my snapshot of why we are number one here in Australia, and I'm sure we're number one on a global basis in many other countries as well. So so thanks for listening, and I appreciate everything there. So I think I'm handing back over to Pat.
That's correct. Thanks, Cam. I'll just change over the slide. So I'm going to talk about how Mimaki is seen in the market. And for me, on a personal level, I've seen Mimaki as such a versatile company with solutions that we can provide. And we provide those solutions through the 4 market segments, which is the design and graphics, industrial products, textile and apparel, and 3D. It's amazing the solutions that we have. We can print on almost anything with our technology, with our inks, with the latex, the UV, and solvent. It's just incredible. So I'm going to talk a little bit more with some of our specialty finishes as well, which I think really sets us apart. So we've got our 2.5D printing, which we do on our JFX. It's incredible. It gives you a lovely raised finish and textures. And then across the JFX series and the UJF and our UCJVs, we've got clear ink, which enables us to do a matte, gloss, or emboss finish, which really gives a value add. We've also got our white ink and a range of our machines, which really showcases multi-layer printing when it comes to our UCJVs, which do a really special thing. It's 5-layer printing in a single pass, which I hadn't seen before. Joining Mimaki, it was a huge wow factor. And then we can do bottle printing, which is another thing that I hadn't seen, which is with the kebab system on the UJF series. And I'm always impressed when I see our customers using jigs to print on various promotional products. It's really incredible. But across our range of products, there's so many ink configurations. Since I've joined Mimaki, it's probably been one of my struggles is remembering every ink configuration that we do, which is another value add in how versatile we are as a company. We've got like our normal CMYK, and then you've got light cyan, light magenta, light black, orange, silver, white, and clear. It's incredible that we can do all this, and we can provide different machines with different ink configurations depending on our customers' needs and what their application basis is, what they need to produce for their end customer. So within the New South Wales showroom, I've actually been able to showcase some of our applications, and the first image there is of a glass table, and I was able to use our JFX 200EX to do a mirrored print on a glass table, so it's printed on the reverse, and it's a bit of a highlight when you walk into our showroom. I've gotten to take some with one of our suppliers doing some floor graphics. Once again, it's just showing the range and versatility of our products and what we can actually do. I was talking about 2.5D printing earlier, and this example, I've actually I didn't do all the layering, so you could actually see that we've got CMYK with 2 hits of white on the snake on the image on the left there, and then I've put the color over, and I've intentionally showed that so that you can actually see how the process is done. And with our UJFs, we've actually I actually get asked a lot about braille printing, and we can also do this on the JFX. It's incredible that we can sort of cater to the disabled community in Australia. With our textile and apparel, we've got our dye sub, and it's one area of Mimaki that, for me, it's a weakness, but it's slowly becoming a strength as I learn about textile. It's a market that I hadn't been involved in much but since joining Mimaki, it's something that I'm slowly learning and getting grips to. I mentioned our kebab system, and this bottle and this image that I've actually shown is the first bottle that I ever printed, and I tasked myself with trying to learn the machine on my own, and it was simple enough that I was able to actually do a full 360 print on our kebab system. The knowledge required was not that great, and our operation manuals that Mimaki provides were fantastic, that it guided me through it. Now, to show the more versatility, is we can print on wood using our UJFs and our JFX, which I'll be showcasing in our latest sample kits. And this is from our 3D printing area. So the first image there of the Marvel character Groot, this was actually provided by one of our dealer network. They actually printed on our 3D FF 222, and they hand painted it. So the middle image shows the 3D FF is just it's a white material, and then they've painted it. It's incredible. And then our latest technology, which enables us to print in 10 million colors, which is the 3D UJ 5507 and the 3D UJ 2207, enables more complex printing. It's got a water-soluble support structure that dissolves away, and it's just incredible. It's going to enable our customers a lot more uses for prototyping, for training purposes, and I'm really excited to be actually able to use one in the showroom in the coming weeks. And the last slide for me is something that I'm still amazed with, and I love creating artwork for this, is our multi-layer printing. So this enables us to do like a day and night image, where when the backlight is off, you get one image in the daytime, and then in the nighttime, we get another image. For me, this is incredible, and I actually got to show it to an end user that had one of our machines and weren't aware that they could actually do it. So I actually was in doing some training and showed them, and it was incredible to walk away going, I just showed these guys something really cool and new.
Thanks, Pat. I've got a couple of questions for you. From my perspective, I understand having an application specialist come into the business for us has been very successful. From my perspective, and I suppose my question to you is how do you see yourself, and how have you seen yourself added value to our customers that walk through the door for the demonstrations?
In the demonstrations, we get a wide range of customers bringing in files that aren't always set up how we need them. And that's where my value add in the New South Wales showroom has come in, is that I can almost take any file that our customers bring in and make it work, so we can give them a successful demonstration and really highlight and showcase how amazing our products really are. Yeah,
cool. I mean, a good answer. I think the biggest thing for us is making sure that we understand obviously the file types and the way the files are created, to make sure that we can actually print them with the different drivers and everything else that's coming out. It's a key point for you, and I think for us, and making sure that we actually can direct the customers in the right way for it. My next question is that I'm just going to ask you ad hoc. You've been with us for almost 6 months. And you walk into the store and you've even said wow and things like that as well. From your creativity and everything that you've done so far, what's been your best project?
For me, it's working on the JFX 200, where sort of reinventing the kit so we can showcase a larger range of materials, but also now that the JFX 600 kit, it's a huge highlight to it, and an honor to be able to be the one that's helped design it.
Yeah. So, obviously the JFX 200 kits and the new revised JFX 200 kits and the new JFX 600 kits will be available in the next 3 or 4 weeks through our dealer network. So stay tuned for some more product launches. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you, Jason.
Oh, Patrick, I've got the other questions to you. Probably two questions. The first question is, I suppose customer is walking into our showroom, not only New South Wales but in other place as well, for looking at the equipment investment for the couple 10, 20, $30,000. It's like same value of the like buying a car, but it's not, the product is not only used for driving or only one purposes, but the customer will be looking at the printing more than 100 things together sometimes. So do you have better advice like how customers should be prepared before walking into our showroom?
When coming into a showroom, it's always good to contact just the sales rep that's actually going to be doing the presentation, or myself, so we can actually help you with your file prep, so we can actually showcase the product. So if you're going to be using a UJF and you want to see some promotional products, give us a heads up so we can look at your files and make sure we're ready to go at the demo.
Understood. So basically, this is what you always not advising a customer to bring 100 medias, 100 seats, and 100 the artworks to do one demos. But you are more than doing the preparation for that, helping the customer online, correct?
Exactly. And
Okay.
like I always like to support Queensland and Victoria. So if they ever need me as the application specialist, I can always team viewer in and road in and assist that way. So that way everything goes smoothly for our end user when they get to see our products.
Okay, thanks for your answering. My last question will be, if you have something, one most amazing sample you've made and one most complicated workflow sample you've made, I just want to see, the in front of your screen if you have nearby. Do you have something to show?
I don't have anything within arm's reach at the moment, Tomo-san. I've kept
Okay, I'm pretty sad with that. That's okay. But what was the by just telling the people what was the most amazing print sample and the most complicated print sample you've done before?
Just trying to think. Probably the most complicated thing I've worked on would be for the new kits, because I've gone through the whole process of designing for all the different medias and then showcasing our ink technology so that we've got multi-layer printing, we've got 2.5D. It's probably the most complicated thing because there's just so many files that I've worked with, and keeping my own workflow nice and clean so that when I get from design to print, that it all actually works. And I'm always mindful that when I'm producing a kit, that I don't want to be wasting material and making mistakes. So I'm very methodical in my process to design and keep in mind that I need to be able to produce this and it needs to look good.
I see. Thanks for your answering. I think we almost come to the end of the session. However, I'd like to prepare for 5 minutes time for all attendees to ask us questions. So if you've got questions, please don't hesitate to either raise your hand from the bottom on the top of your screen or enter your question and answer chat window. So make sure that's you enter the question answer. So no one else could see, no one else can see your question, but we answer on our voice. So don't be hesitate or don't be shy to ask a question or any inquiries. And again, I really appreciate everyone attending this time to join us in the webinar this morning. Mimaki Australia has prepared some more other webinars starting an hour later in 60 minutes from 1 p.m. Sydney time, Victorian time, 12 p.m. Queensland time. Also from 4 o'clock Sydney time for our textile new product session. And we have several sessions tomorrow as well. So whenever you have a time to join, we more than welcome to have you on our session. Right, from our guest, thank you very much for entering your comment. Daniel, thanks for coming. You've got no questions, but would like to say thank you to all the really interesting information. Yeah, I really appreciate your time to join us. And if we could contribute some information to your business, what you're doing, I really feel happy to do that, as well as everyone from a speaker.
Hey, Thomas, I know obviously we've got some shy people not wanting to ask questions, but I just wanted to make sure that we do reach out for a last time, that those people that are affected by the floods in Queensland and New South Wales to get in touch with the dealer network. If you can't get in touch with the dealer network, our local channel managers in Queensland and New South Wales, or call Mimaki Australia on 02 8036 4500. And if you need any support in regards to printing or anything, just to reach out, and we're more than happy to we're happy to help and support them, the market in that way.
All right, again, thank you very much for your time. Now we are the time to close session. Thank you very much for coming again, and looking forward to seeing other session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.